So the market right here has buy side. The market draws up into it. What happens before it gets to this run right here? Right here, this run right there. What happens? You see this wick right here? You see that wick? Half of that is what? Consequent encroachment. Interesting how it goes right down to it right there. Interesting how we have a gap right there with a wick. So if we have a gap like this with a wick, always trust and allow for it's likely to go into this consequent encroachment, not just fill in that gap right there. So it can trade down, even though it goes over top that gap, the candlestick's high right here. If it went through that live, I would not be unsettled by that. I would not be scared by that. I would look for this candlestick's wick right here. The midpoint, which is consequent encroachment, we treat that as a gap. The market goes right back to it there. Then what does it do? Right back up here. All right, so when the next candle opens up, I would be looking at that and saying, okay, now I want to see it start expanding towards this high here. And I want to see it aggressively run through it. I want to see speed. Well, we get it there. We come back down in. What is it doing? It's working inside this wick, which is what? A gap. We do gradients on wicks. 75% of the wick, 50% of the wick. We never want to see, in this case here, lower than 50% or consequent encroachment. So any respect of this wick should be limited to the high, 75% of the wick, and then consequent encroachment, which is half. So in my mind, when I'm watching price action over here, I don't want to see it go below half of that wick. Find that in Steve Nielsen's book. Go over here, look what it's doing. It's going down, but it won't breach on a closing basis midpoint of that wick, which is consequent encroachment. That's tape reading. You can't see that in DOM. You can't see that in footprint. You're not even going to look for it. There's no reason for you to look for it because it's not in that theory. So the market does what? It rallies above this high here. What's above that high? Buy side. Buy stops. Someone is chasing that lower when it's green. This is an hourly chart. So inside that weakness in that hourly candlestick, someone's going short. Where they're going to place a stop? Right above that high. So the market does what? It gravitates up to it here. And we drop down, respecting consequent encroachment there, and we rally. What do we do now? We start expanding aggressively towards that weekly mitigation block, this level right here. And we trade up into that level there, and then we consolidate.